Hello, hello, hello. I'm Biker Gang. Your main man. The real Bill Real. That's right. I said it. Women get away with murder. This is a short clip that I'd like to play for you to prove my point. Let's go. Now, before we get into this foolishness, as you guys all know, I have done a video on Rachel Jeantel. It's titled Trayvon's Killer Exposed. Dropped that a couple months ago. This Tom Joyner is what we call a simp. He's a simpleton. He's a man that believes that women are wholesome and they are sweet and innocent and loving at all times, and nothing can be further from the truth than that. After seeing what you saw in that courtroom, after seeing her disrespect for law, what would make you want to invest in that type of person to offer them a full college scholarship? Now, it could be me being critical as I usually am, but is there anything that Rachel Jeantel said during the trial that was worthy of someone saying, you know what, I see lawyer potential in you. I see you have an attention to detail. I didn't see any of that before we get started. But don't take my word for it. Let's go. I'm going to show you a few things.
Rachel Jeantel and her lawyer are in New York. I guess that's where she was when she did Pierce Morgan last night. Mm-hmm. And she's still in New York. She's doing more press.
She's still in New York doing more press with this gentleman here. We're going to see him in a second. He's another simp. She's on this show here. She was on a host of shows, probably about 6 shows in all. She probably put somewhere in the neighborhood of about $100,000, maybe a little bit more, maybe $150 in her pocket, just on these different appearances that she made. All right, so she came away with a clean $100,000 off rip for just being on these shows, appearing as someone who's telling the truth. This is why I want to say this is about how women get away with murder. Now, instead of her being investigated, they were parading her around on TV as if she was an authentic person, an authentic witness to what was going on. Nobody thinking that, hey, maybe this person is lying. Maybe this person wants to cover themselves. Maybe this person is telling you something so that you see George Zimmerman in a bad light. George Zimmerman started it all. And not hint to the fact that you actually started it all. But I just want to show you how this individual here came up. Let's go.
It's 8 o'clock there, almost 8 o'clock, and she has another interview with someone at 8:15, and they called and they said, we can we can have her on your show at 50 right now. So we're waiting on them to call in.
Right.
More than 100 vigils are planned for this Saturday. Marches are planned for this Saturday. Marches that are being done all over the country at the Justice Department.
Right. Reverend Al talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, we have them. But
and you have your attorney.
Now, the way I want to also drive home my point that I said in the beginning is the fact that this case, all of these rallies, all of this marketing, all of these news headlines, it got started from 4 wicked women. Rachel, Sabrina, Natalie Jackson, and what's her name? Corey. 4 wicked women caused all the nation to be in an uproar, have everybody believe in these certain things. I want to show you how powerful women are. I have to paint this for you so that you will begin to see behind this story how these 4 women influence a whole country, a whole world. I'm telling you, like the old folks used to say, a woman is a powerful thing. Let's go.
And the attorney. Hello?
Good morning.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm negative.
Now, this is Rob Vereen, who was the attorney who was going on these different shows with Rachel Jeantel. As I told you before, liars need lawyers. There's no reason to have an attorney with you if you're telling the truth. But if he knows that you could potentially implicate yourself on national TV, let's go ahead and have the attorney sit there with her. So make sure she doesn't flub. We keep her on script. These are things that you can clearly see. But most folks, they just ignore it. But let's go.
Okay, so I saw you guys last night, and I was so moved with her interview with Piers Morgan, even more moved than I was when we talked after her testimony on the.
Now he's moved at her being evasive. This is what I'm telling you. This is the simping. This is what I'm talking about, putting women on a pedestal and worshiping them. She caused people in law enforcement to second guess themselves when she made this interview. Go back and check the records, guys. Go take a look at what she said during this Piers Morgan interview. It was, Let's go.
Trial, and I was almost moved.
Now, he goes on to accuse Don West of beating her up by going over information, by going over her testimony. That's what he's going to accuse him of here later on in the conversation. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just want to explain to you how he's simping, how he feels like, no, she shouldn't even been investigated. She shouldn't even been in the trial. That was all about George Zimmerman. She had nothing to do with it. Watch. Let's go.
Tears.
Well, I was happy that Piers Morgan had contacted me with regard to bringing her back on the show to give her the opportunity before America to really let them understand and appreciate who she really is and what the relationship, was that she had with Trayvon Martin.
The part of the interview that got me was when he asked her, did she know that she realized that she was talking to Trayvon all day? And she said, no, I didn't realize I was talking to him that long until I saw the transcripts. And he said, well, what did you all talk about? He said, well, we talked about our future. And what?
Didn't realize that she had been talking to him all day, but the real transcript showed that it was about 28 minutes of conversation. So how do you have 28 minutes of conversation equaling all day? Which is why she didn't recall it. See how these are just lies. But let's go.
What we wanted to do.
Right.
But it didn't follow up with what do you want to do? And that's the part that got me, and that's why I'm so glad you're calling, because if there's something that I can help her do that she wants to do, I want to help.
There's something that she wants to do, I want to help. Why? Why would you want to help someone who did not even want to go to the funeral of her best friend? Why would you want to help somebody who did not want to cooperate with the attorneys? Why would you want to help somebody who did not call the police? Huh? These are common sense questions that people need to be asking themselves that simps don't ask because they're too busy licking booty instead of looking at facts, instead of looking at, hey, hold up. You guys were talking about this and that, and this is what you were up to, and this is what your Twitter was talking about. Hey, you don't hear Tom Joyner talk about any of that. Let's go.
So Rod Vereen is Rachel's attorney, and that's who we're talking to. What does she want to do, Rod?
She actually, believe it or not,
believe it or not, notice what he said. And he's saying, actually, believe it or not, means that she is the opposite of law enforcement. That's what he's going to talk about. That she's going to this crazy notion that she wants to be an investigator because she watches First 48. Really? How ironic. Let's go.
She wants to go into law enforcement. We were sitting down at dinner last night, and one of the producers was asking us that, what does your future hold for you? She said, well, I was really, considering being a homicide investigator.
She was thinking about being a homicide investigator. And why would she be interested in being a homicide investigator? Because she knows a little bit about how to weasel her way out of an investigation and make sure that she is not on the hook for being an adult talking to a child and influencing that child to go get himself shot. Homicide investigator. You guys, you guys. Let's go.
And so that's what she's interested in, and of course, she and I sat down and discussed, the fact that she really does have to, get her mind back on, her education. The past 16 months have been very difficult for her. They were constantly snatching her out of school.
They were constantly snatching her out of school. Are you serious? She wasn't going to school. She was freaking feeling guilty that the world was watching this story that she had caused. This stuff is simple. Let's go.
To take her, to be deposed and question her, and they constantly sit her down, talking about the case. So, for the last 16 months,
and I already told you about this in an earlier video. Watch what she says when they ask her to tell the truth. Watch what the answer that she gives. It lets the cat out the bag. But let's go. You honestly see this person as a homicide detective? Let's go.
The schoolwork was interrupted by the process. So that's what happens in these type of cases.
So the investigation had everything to do with her schoolwork before that, which was basically non-existent. I think she had been held back like 2 or 3 times or something like that. So let's go.
Any homicides before, and this is what happens with witnesses. And so I have a group of lawyers in Miami.
Look at them. 2 of the 4 wicked women. Look at them. Wicked. Look at her. She even looks wicked. She looks like a demon. Let's go.
That are interested in offering their assistance. One is of Haitian descent, Caroline Drake, who's a special friend of mine, who has offered her assistance. The National Bar Association, which has been convention here at Miami. Yeah, they have
Rachel. Hi, Rachel. This is Tom Joyner. I love you. I really do love you.
He loves this woman because of what? What actually did she do? Huh? Get a boy killed and lie about it? So that's why you love her? Not show up to the funeral? Lie about her name and age? Huh? That's why you love her? If that's not a simp, I don't know what is. That's like a man saying, I love all my baby mamas who got me on child support. It's like, well, excuse me. Do you realize that they all have you a few point payments away from not making it to going to jail? What about them that makes you so enamored with them? I don't understand that. What are they doing so good for you? This is the simp mentality. The woman sends you to court. Oh, I'm so glad, you know what I'm saying, that we was able to handle everything all good. She goes and cheats on you. Oh, she handling her thing. You know what I'm saying? She doing her thing. We got a little me time, you know, a little us time. We did our thing, whatnot. It's like the simp explains away all evil done by women as, oh, it's nothing. Oh, I love you. I love you still. You're still a queen. Let's go.
I know.
You have touched me.
See there? I love you. I know. She knows that he's been fooled up by her lie. Let's go. Let me stop and let them talk.
I know.
You've churched. You really have, Rachel.
You really have. You really have.
I know.
Okay, so
I know. But you notice Tom Joyner does not say at one time how she had touched him. What? What exactly did she do? Nothing. That if the roles were reversed, if a guy had been acting the way that she had acted, the police would be investigating that guy. Like I said before, women get away with murder. Murder. She tells you it's your baby. You think it's your baby. You find out it's not your baby. Men go off and shoot themselves, kill themselves over it. This stuff happens all the time. Women get away with murder. Let's go. Let me stop talking. I'm going to let you guys hear what's being said so that you'll understand my point. Let's go.
So Rachel, here's what I want to do. I watched you last night, and I was just saying that Piers Morgan didn't ask after you said we talked all day and we talked about our future and what we want to do. And so, Rachel, here's my offer to you. If you want to graduate from high school and go to an HBCU, even if it's not in Florida, but especially Florida, like Florida Memorial or Edward Waters or Bethune-Cookman or FAMU.
Now, he just named off all of his brothers. That's what that's about. All of his Masonic brothers, he just said, look, I can get you into these colleges. Now, granted, he's offering a college scholarship to somebody who hasn't even graduated from high school yet. But anyway, let's go.
If you want to do that, I want to help you do that. I will help you. I will help you get tutors to get you out of high school, tutors to help you pass the SAT, and I will give you a full ride scholarship to any HBCU you'd like.
Bam.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Because I really do love you, and I was so moved by your testimony.
See, that's what's sad. That's what's sad, is that we have Israelites who are suckered in to believe that there are heroes that are actually criminals. Now, I'm not saying that these people here in this picture are criminals. What I'm saying is, we as a people honor people that we should not honor. This is a long tradition. When are we going to get out of that as a people? When are we going to honor the people who should be honored for the right reasons? I challenge you to start looking at who we put on pedestals. The people that we see are, oh, Sabrina, and, Crump, and all these people are not telling the truth. Let's go.
And your interview last night.
Yeah.
And your attorney says you want to go into law enforcement. Is that right?
Well, I'm someone to donate bodies,
Okay. The inaudible is, yeah, but I just don't know how to deal with bodies. Now, remember, her excuse for not coming to the funeral of Trayvon Martin was that she can't be around dead bodies. She couldn't stand to be around a dead body. But she wants to be a homicide detective. Now, these people here on the radio, they know that that makes no sense, so they're going to try to cover for her. See? Where they're supposed to have common sense and be like, hold up. I done caught you lying. You saying that you want to be a homicide detective, but you didn't want to help out with the killing of your best friend, the one that come on. What? You don't want to cooperate? You didn't want him to know who you were, but you want to be a homicide detective? You couldn't stand being at court, and you want to be a homicide detective, where you would have to go and testify on the different cases that you knew about. Right. Okay. All right. But they're supposed to catch her in this when she says this and totally nail her. They do, but they try to brush it off. Watch, they're about to do this. Watch.
And the body, something could somebody.
Like forensic science?
This is totally inaudible.
Because you said you told your
Totally.
parents you don't want to do funerals or anything like that, right?
No, I'm not going to nobody's funeral.
See?
Don't lie, you don't forget that.
See? I'm not going to nobody's funeral. Yeah, double negative. I'm not nobody's funeral. Right. But anyway, she wants to be a homicide detective. Okay? Get it straight.
So as a part of the law, but you still want to, because I know you referenced First 48, so you do want to go into that area, right?
Well, yeah, it's anything. Like, I want to be by my parents because, they don't want me to put money, and I need money when I come. That'll be around them.
Yeah. Okay. She basically says, yeah, I just want to be around my parents. Huh? Yeah, people, I cannot make this stuff up. If I came out with the transcript and I started spitting this stuff out to you, you say, Bill is probably not telling the truth. He probably added a little here, a little there. But when you hear this stuff for yourself, you got to say, how did they not catch this? How did somebody not catch this a long time ago, seeing it? This was a total fake, total fraud. Get away with murder. Let's go.
Well, tell your parents about my offer, and if they're interested,
They'll be listening. They are listening right now.
Okay. Well, I'll have the man who really runs things around here, Tom Joyner Jr. It's just my name in the jingle and on the logos. But the Tom Joyner Foundation is run by my son Thomas Joyner Jr. and he will be in touch.
All right.
Yeah.
And good luck to you, Rachel. You stay strong. And gotta tell you that people on social media, whether it's Tom's Facebook page, whether it's Twitter or Text Tom, everybody is supporting you, Rachel, and really want you to know that they are wanting the best for you.
I respectfully disagree. You got away with murder.